Welcome back to Silent Minecraft, where no matter what I do, I will not be able to hear game sounds, but that doesn't matter because we can at least play the game. So, I have done a lot off camera, which I will just show off now. We do have, as you can see, a river, or an extensive body of water in Minecraft. I refined my technique of building it, and this is what I have come up with, and I'm pretty happy with it. So it's fairly extensive, the water, or the work I've done, and it is, well, it's not high above sea level, it's 2 or 3 blocks above sea level, or, you know, your standard water level in Minecraft. This is the mouth of the river, as you can see, and it does kind of, I'd be lying if I said I was 100% happy with the way it looked, but there's not much else I can do. Like, when I first created this section, this was the first section I did, I brought it all the way up here without thinking, and as a result that meant it was always going to have to go down to reach the sea. So maybe in future, or not too far in the future, I'll refine it and just kind of make it look a bit better. I think it'd be better if it was less random and more orderly. Maybe not, I don't know. But the point is that is what we have got. So yeah, if you're wondering about my technique, instead of placing every single water source, I just basically cheated. So up until the line there from, I think, actually no, up until the bridge, everything on this side of the bridge was, it was manually placed, every water source, and then everything else beyond, all I did was like I placed blocks just below the top water levels, so like the top water levels here. So I'd place blocks everywhere else, and then that would automatically create infinite blocks like you would normally get, you know, if you were creating an infinite water pool. Well, that basically, as I said, automatically created a lot of sources, and as a result, we got the river. And then I just simply had to dig away the blocks I'd placed. I had to place a lot of blocks, burn through so many iron tools, but it was good because it meant I didn't have to place water sources in every block, and it meant I only had to place one layer of blocks. So for example, down here, I didn't have to place any. I mean, I think this was already water, so it built upon like pre-existing water sources. But what it does mean is this might become very difficult to swim in future. Right now it's not too bad, so as you can see we're at the bottom. There should be a downward flow in the block in which my player's head is in at the moment, but as you can see I'm having very little trouble when swimming to the surface. So in this version there's no issues, but in future versions it might be a little slower to swim up. Not that that's a big deal, it's more for aesthetics than for anything else. One thing I do want to note is usually in modern versions when you go into third person mode and you move the camera out of the water, you get a clear view like that. However, as you can see, even though I'm under the water and I'm in third person mode, it's giving me exactly the same fuzzy picture or unclear picture, hazy picture, whatever you want to describe it as. It's giving me that same picture as it would under the water, so that's an interesting feature. Don't really want to call it, but it kind of is a bug. But I mean, you know, it was still in the early stages of development at this point in time, so you know, it's to be these sort of things are to be expected. I guess we can have a quick tour of it. I mean, I should have shown off some very sloppy screenshots. I've not been able to take screenshots in the game, I'm afraid. I've not really asked Spodders about it. Next time I'm speaking with him, I'll try and remember to ask him about the F1 thing that you mentioned in the comments. Either way, this is what it looks like, and you will have seen it if I showed the sloppy screenshots. It's quite cool because it's got different blocks underneath, like there's gravel here, then there's dirt over here, and then sand background there. The closer you get to the sea, or whatever we're calling that, the lake, the large body of water, we need to probably give it a name or something. And then it comes around here as well. We got a few islands, which is pretty cool. We got one there. There's a bridge in the distance. I'm not going to change the bridge. I don't want it to be too big. I don't want it to like impress upon the terrain too much. You know what I mean? I don't want it to stand out. It's fine as it is. We got it around here. I filled in a lot of caves at the side of the river, and that was just to, you know, prevent floods. Or there was a lot of cave-ins, I must say. Sand would often like cave in because there's no sandstone to hold it up, and caves would generate below the sand, and if you dug too deep it would just collapse. And we come back to sea level here, or just the regular water level in alpha, and as you can see we've got to dip the water down a couple of blocks here. There's one cave I never filled in. I will get round to doing that at some point. Oh yeah, all my diamond armour broke through various measures of getting crushed by sand caving in, or mobs, or drowning, or fall damage, or whatever else. But you know, that's just the way of it. We'll go back to iron armour. In fact, as you can see, I already have. It's just some of my iron armour broke already as well. Anyway, durability is shambolic. We got a nice defined sea line, which is good. I really like that look. There was a lot of like sandy beaches like that were more extensive, and I took away a lot of them. And yeah, it's fairly nice. I like the water look now, and I am planning to. We might dig some of this out as well, but I am planning to build a bit here because I think that would be alright, although I'm going to have to actually sit down and think about what it is I'm going to be doing with this area. I don't want to do anything too extensive, and we might not get round to doing anything until later as the moon rises. Hopefully you can still see what I'm doing. But yeah, that is the river. We're back to the mouth again, so it did take a lot of work. It wasn't too grindy. I thought it was going to be a lot worse, but it was actually alright, so I don't regret it. I think the terrain looks far nicer anyway. And yeah, we got a lot. Well, oh, whoa, what was that? Oh, sugar skeleton. Do I have arrows? Yes, I do. Oh man, and we don't have armor. Look how many hearts I lost. Quite a few. I don't actually have any food. I do have wheat. We didn't actually gain that many resources, unfortunately. We never gained that much dirt. The reason we didn't gain resources was because I was mainly well, I used existing water pools, and the only resource I gained a lot of was sand, because we had to dig out a lot of sand, especially around the beaches. But dirt, cobble, I think we used just as much as we gained, which was barely any. Okay, so I am thinking of doing something kind of ambitious. I say kind of because A, I'm doing this in alpha, and B, I'm doing this sort of a project to such a scale I've never done it before in any version of Minecraft, let alone one that doesn't have many important features that might be beneficial to building such a thing. But whatever, we're going to give it a go. I've never been one to, well, yeah, no, I don't think I've ever been one to let the scale of a task put me off in this game. That's probably my, well, yeah, if I was ever to name my strength in Minecraft, it would not be PvP, funnily enough. Although I'm alright at PvP, I'm not the best. But I feel like one thing I'm good at is just getting down and, you know, grinding something or building something or whatever, something to such a scale. The river's, I guess, sort of a testimony to that. But now I've talked the talk, and I need to yeah, walk the walk and back it up with something else. And that's what we're going to do here. So, the river that we made is just over there. if you go on ahead, I don't think I've been round here on video. I have been round here myself, just to load the chunks and also to get a good or a decent view of what was lying around. But yeah, the water opens up a bit more. I don't think you got any oceans to the same scale that you get nowadays, and certainly not to the same scale as you got in 1.0 to 1.6. Some of those oceans were thousands and thousands of blocks in width and length and everything. Thankfully they were removed from the game, but yeah, point is I don't think you get oceans to that extent in this version. But this is like, whatever, it's a big enough body of water. It's, I guess, almost equal distance from here to there as it is from here to there. But we could also make the ocean bigger if we wanted to, although that would require a lot of work. But no, the point is, what we are going to try and do is build 2 decently sized statues. Now I believe a word for them is Colossus or something like that. Now I was going to try and replicate something called the Colossus of Rhodes, which was basically one of the wonders of the ancient world, in which it was on the Greek island of Rhodes. I know I'm just slaying all these sheep, but wool is useful to have. Not really, it doesn't do anything, but in case I might need it, that's why I get it. But no, Rhodes was a Greek island, and there was this port, and at the entrance to the port there was a big statue. You see famous pictures, if you Google it now, you'll see pictures of like a big statue with feet on 2 sides of the entrance, and that's kind of what I was wanting to go for. But without too much experimenting and through simple just analysis and guesswork, I'm going to say that this is too wide to do such a thing, because if you've got to keep in mind that although the height limit these days is 256 blocks, the height limit in alpha was 128. So we've got half the amount, in fact no, we've got less than half the space to work with. So what I'm thinking is we're just going to have to do 2 independent statues on either side, and I'm going to go for a design on the statues that you see in the Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring, the films. You get them in the books as well. They're described in the Fellowship of the Ring books. They're called the, what are they called again? Flip. I got the name wrong when I first googled it. I need to google it again just to figure it out. The Argonath. That's what they're called. The Argonath. You can google it. It's basically on the river Anduin, which is a great river in Middle Earth. But it's basically 2 statues, and it's like kings of Gondor holding it in their hands, kind of like saying stop almost. Although I'm not quite sure what it represents. But there you go. It's probably like this is the border of Gondor or something like that. But yeah, I plan to try and replicate that here. I think that'd be pretty cool, having 2 statues either side of this this delta, this estuary, and you know, saying stop, this is my territory, something like that. Now, this is going to be made more difficult by the fact there's no shift key or crouch mechanism, as I should properly call it. And also by the fact that I'm not sure if I've got enough resources. I got at least 3 or 4 double chestfuls of cobble, and I could make some more stone if I needed it, but it is going to be tough, and I'm not sure how high they'll stretch, but we'll see. Anyway, I'm telling you about this in great detail because I'm going to have to do it, most of it off camera. There's no way I'm going to be able to do it on camera, so I'm just telling you now, I will be doing a lot off camera. And I will show you progress as I go, hopefully. I was fortunate enough to find a screenshot from Alpha from about 7 years ago or 8 years ago of someone that was in the process of building one, so I'm going to try and take inspiration from what they've done, but it was incomplete, so I'm going to have to do a lot of it. One of the things I'm not so good at in this game is aesthetics, making things look good, so that's the challenge. And especially if I'm using like 1 material, maybe 2, it's going to be so hard to shape it, but that's the challenge, and I'm going to try and tackle it head on. So I've managed to get started on this project. Everything's just so much slower and so much more difficult in this version, I'm not going to lie. I think I'm getting better at the actual survival aspect, the PvE aspect, but it's still very difficult to, build in that and transport stuff over long distances, and I know that however many hundreds of blocks it is from here to my base isn't that far, but when you can only walk and when you've only got 27 inventory slots, then yeah, things can seem a whole lot greater. Now, I have started the statues. Well, certainly the right-hand side, I've started that one. There's going to be two. One is just over there, but it's out of render. So I think what my plan is, and I'm just going to say this now before I go over and show you, I'm going to move it back. As you can see, the tree and the bridge are in render right now, but you can't see the statue, so I'm going to bring that back. There is a block, you might be able to see the block just above my cursor. I'm going to move it back to there, and then you'll be able to see it from here. That's what I want. I want them to come into view as you come along this this road. So let's go over and have a look. It just turned day. Now I have built a temporary bridge spanning the water, the straits. Yep, there it is. As you can see, it's currently not that great, but obviously I'm glad that I figured out a better position for it before I actually finished it. But you can get an idea of the sheer scale of this thing. I don't think it'll be too challenging actually, especially if I'm only using one or two blocks. The photo, or sorry, the screenshot I'm taking inspiration from has used stone, but it's incomplete, which is good because then it gives me a chance to work on it myself. This will be good to get me started off, and then I can take it on by myself, or I can find another image if I am stuck further. But yeah, as you can see, it's over there. We just need to move about 30 blocks back. I've completely torched this island, so no mobs will spawn, which is good. I'll probably take these out eventually, or do something, I don't know. But we're going to build it here between that block and that one. The issue is I don't know quite how big it is lengthways, but as you can see, it is fairly substantial. Of course, it's unrealistic because mountains they only go up to the world height limit, like that one, and then this will be going up to the world height limit. Pretty sure there's no statues in the world that are as big as mountains, but that's Minecraft for you. We can't even get up now. This was my ladder to get up, but it's inadequate now for that purpose. One thing I do want to point out is there's a bit of I don't know, an arch under here. You might be able to see, and then again you might not. I wonder if I could show it. Basically, and I saw this at night time. I might have to wait until night time. Oh yeah, you can kind of see. So as you can see, there's a pillar here. I think what we'll do is we'll just put that here. Oh wait, that's destroyed a source block. That's not going to repair, is it? I do have a bucket. No, I don't. Anyway, as you can see, there's a bit of an arch here that comes over and then just down here, and I think that's a really cool formation. Look at that. The land does not connect to the ocean floor, so in theory that island only starts there. So I don't know, we might take that out, we might do something with this or just leave it, I'm not sure. Okay, so that is that, and I've decided I'm going to work on both kings, both statues at the same time, because then I can at least keep track of where they're at. This one's actually out of line, it looks like, by one block. It should be one back, but not that it makes a difference. If they're one block out of line, I'm sure no one will notice. I'm kidding, everyone's going to notice. This one is also out of line, but whatever. So yeah, I'm just going to put one statue here and one over there, and it will actually kind of go over this area, but we'll see how it goes. And look, it'll probably encroach upon the space of that sand, so that sand will probably end up disappearing. Oh, look at this, we could totally just place a block like here and it'll all fall into the sea. Now my reason for not wanting to do that is because that'll just disrupt the water, and I don't really want that, but whatever. So after a bit of work, we have come to this, got rid of the first attempt, which was here, and then as you can see we've moved this one back and got another one over there, or the beginning of another one. So if you're wondering, I've already mentioned that this is the foot. This is actually part of the cloak or the robe or whatever the king is supposed to be wearing. So that's what this is. And also because it's one of the few parts that's actually shown in the image I'm looking at. I couldn't find the image, I went on again, and the only way I found it again was by going to my history, so I've had to save the image, which is okay. But we should have it now for the duration of this project. It's good to be by water because when you're way up there, there's really no way to get down. I don't even trust MLGs from that high, or water drops or whatever. And of course, if you fall into one deep water, you're going to die. So thankfully we've got deep oceans all around. And that will suffice for breaking my fall. I actually dropped some sand into the water over here. Not the large amount that you see now, but it was just over here. And as you can see, the water has not broken up. It's not like destroyed the sources. So what we're going to do is we're just going to have a bit of fun. And we're going to, I guess, try and drop all this into the ocean. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this goes. But there we go. All of a sudden, now you see it, now you don't. And it's just kind of languishing down here. Yeah, you don't really notice it, to be honest. Anyway, so we've got that sorted. And now we can continue to dig up more of the land. Yeah, I could die here, which is kind of why I'm showing this. The annoying thing is, if I die, there's no beds, so I can't set my spawn, and I'd have to make the long, arduous journey all the way back here. If I, like, one mistake here, and I'm off the side, oh, and then we go along how many? I think 3. Oh, it's so, like, oh, how do you make that? Okay, there we go. Oh, come on. See, when you get to this position, you want to move further left. You just wonder, how is that even possible? Oh, and it's turning night. I mean, not that that's going to make it down. I guess if we fall... Oh, okay, whatever. So here we are, above the clouds. I have got quite a bit more done on the statues. The issue is I'm coming to the stage now. You can get a better view of them here. The best view is actually from, like, way back there. But the issue now is it's getting to the stage where I'm going to have to use my own imagination. I've been given a head start. I've got the arms, the cloak's done, the hands, but there's still a bit to go. I can't take inspiration from other designs. It's just most of the other images I've seen have come from later versions of Minecraft, and they're way more detailed because they've got more space to work with. And it's turning night. Fantastic. Alright, but as you can see, that is what I've got done. So that pole going up there, that's at the top of that's going to be the head. We've got the hand, and in their other hands they are clasping swords. So the issue with this is, if you have a look online, most of the image, in fact, well, okay, the original images that you get from Lord of the Rings, from the films, or illustrations of the book, they're closer together because it's a river instead of an estuary that they are flanking, and there's also mountains next to them. Now obviously we don't have mountains, and we've got a pretty wide expanse here, so they're not going to look perfect, or they're not going to look identical, but we're just going to have to do what we can with what we've got. And obviously they're more detailed, especially in other Minecraft builds, they're way more detailed, but I'm happy with how it's going so far. We're just going to have to, well, push on, and I'm going to have to try and come up with, well, the rest of it on my own. I mean, I think the heads have been done, but beyond that, once I do the heads, that's it, I'm on my own. So yeah, we're just going to have to wait and see. Obviously, as I said, there are other things I can look at. So, but no, it's going fine. I have died once, I think. I've been watching YouTube, and I just kind of I was looking across at it, and then I looked back and just kind of fell. So the worrying thing was that I wasn't going to get back in time to collect my stuff, because if you think about it, the chunks are loaded, and I'm like round there, and I died over there, so I was going to have to walk around the entire body of water here and then across the bridge before I could get my items back. So it wasn't great, but I got them. It's just a long walk back, so not ideal, but there you go. So the easy bit's done. Well, I say easy, it's been very challenging, but at least I knew where I was going with this. Now I'm on to the part where I need to do it all myself. The image stops there, that's all I can see. That's what I've got done. I'm pretty happy with it. It looks kind of cool already, but I need to now add to this and make the other half, or 2/3, just as cool. As you can see, we've got the hand out, stretched, we've got the helmet. The face was done by myself. By the way, that's not supposed to be there. That was scaffolding I was using. You can see the other guy over there. I'm pretty happy with it, gotta say. But it is taking a long time. The crouch mechanism would help this a lot, and as you can see, there's animals spawning up there. I've died a bunch more. I actually pulled off a really cool MLG stunt where I fell off. I didn't have a water bucket. Not that a water bucket would have saved me, but I had ladders, and I managed to put ladders onto the side of a pillar and grab it to save myself. Unfortunately, I tried that again, but I was far too close to the block, and I ended up just colliding with the top of the ladder and dying that way. And also one time a sheep pushed me off, but I managed to grab the ladder again. So there's been a few near misses, but equally there's been plenty of actual deaths. So it's living up to expectations with regards to death and destruction. And I lost my bow, but I mean, that's not a big deal because bows don't have durability or enchant, so it doesn't really make a difference. Every bow is basically the same. Oh, the sand's in the way. Thank goodness, because I need sand. Not. Oh, I'm sorry, you're not supposed to end sentences in not. I forgot it wasn't 1990. Okay, let's try. Oh, no. Mistakes were made. Yeah, I want to see a magic trick. I can make my health disappear. I just went ahead. I put my foot on the accelerator and went full throttle with this project. And it's come to this. So, initial thoughts. Well, I can't say initial thoughts because I've already had a look at them off camera, but you know, first thoughts on camera. Obviously it doesn't look as good as some of the images I was looking at, and it certainly doesn't look anywhere near the pictures of the Lord of the Rings films and books that I was basing it off of. But for an alpha build with limited blocks, I think I used about 4 block types in this build. I think I did okay. I had limited space because obviously I've only got from Y like 63 to Y 128. You can see the other one over there. Might have a look at that in a minute. Basically, the images I saw of the films had this statue with its hand outstretched holding an axe or a sword or putting its hand on the mountain or something. Obviously we didn't have that. I opted just to mirror the one on that side, so have them both the same, and that worked very well for me. Made it a lot easier to build. Well, the one over there, which I decided to mirror over here, is holding a sword. Now I tried to make a sword, and my sword looked something like that. However, that, as you can see, that thing there, doesn't look anything like a sword. So we're going to say it's a scepter, you know, like what a king would hold, and I added some iron blocks at the top. I did add some gold blocks over there, but it didn't look so good. It looked more like blood. So I just went for iron on both of them. And to be honest, I think it looks okay. Adds a bit of a different touch to it, and obviously it's iron. It blends in reasonably well with the stone look. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. You can see another foot poking out here. I'm not sure if there's anything wrong with just the human frame of this person, but I think it looks okay. You can see the other one over here. Yeah, again, I wouldn't say it's a mirror image. It's definitely not. I couldn't copy everything exact, but it is close enough. I mean, let's be honest, it could have been a lot worse. I missed the ladder down there, and I did die one heck of a lot of times trying to build the bally things. So I think it's okay for alpha without crouch mechanism, limited blocks, limited height, also limited ability. I've never really done a build like this before. I am pretty happy with it, I've got to say. So that's what it looks like. You can see what they look like here. I really like it. You can see them just in the fog, the fog line of the render distance, and I think that looks pretty good. A bit of a haze about it, suggesting they're out at sea, which they are, in a manner of speaking. So yeah, as the sun goes down, I'm going to have to end it there. I reckon this has gone on quite long, but I do want to thank each and every one of you for watching. It was pretty fun to do this. I'm really happy I managed to do it. For those that don't know, I did have an alpha world about 4 years ago, and I had, I think, over 100 episodes in that. But so far, I think this world has by far trumped that one through just, you know, a few episodes. So I'm really excited as to where this is going. Hopefully I can keep it up. We shall see. Until next time, see you later.